Welcome to the Athletic FC podcast with me, Ayo Akimolere. Today, we're bringing you a special episode ahead of the Carabao Cup final. Arsenal's Gabriel Jesus is in conversation with the Athletics' Mario Cortegana, Santos, and also Jack Lang as well. They get into the title race, Arsenal's mentality after 3 second-place finishes, his love of R9, and much more. We'll begin with how his move to Arsenal came about and also the differences between Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta.
You said that Guardiola was key for you to sign for Manchester City with that call. How important has been Arteta? Did he call you for you to join Arsenal?
Yeah. He called me. He called Pep. We worked together there as well. Obviously, he was the coach member. He was the third coach there. But we spent a lot of times together there, of course, because we was training. He was one of the coaches that showed me a lot of clips. And then obviously he called me and then he explained me what they was thinking about. And Edu was here still in that time. And then he called me. He went to Manchester to visit me, to speak with me more open. And then, I think was one of the reasons that I joined Arsenal.
Mikel called Pep?
Yeah, he called Pep.
What did he tell?
I think he called Pep and then asked like, I want to sign Gabi, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously Pep just said that to me. But it was like 6 months before the season finished. And then I was like, okay. And then what are your thoughts? And then he just say, no, I want you to stay, but you decide. So basically it was that.
Interesting. And how do they compare in trainings, in the way they approach players?
Yeah, I think they are not too much similar, but obviously there's something that they have in their DNA is the spirit of like winner, they want to win every single game, and then every single, even training sessions, they get mad if something like doesn't work like the way they thought. So I think obviously Pep is older than him, and then have been more in the situations that win trophies or fighting for something. But obviously Mikel now, in 3 years in a row, like fighting for the league, and then last year semi-final, and this year the way the team are playing. So I think it's about time to Mikel reach another level as well. But still, he's an amazing coach, obviously, I'm glad to be coached by him.
Harder training sessions under Guardiola or
difficult, but I think Mikel. Yeah.
Both of those guys have a reputation for being pesado, heavy, intense guys. You've gone from one to the other. Is it hard to maintain that as a player?
So maybe I'm older than I am. So probably we can say I'm older than my age today, because I have been with him for 6 years and then 3 years with others. So I'm older because of this.
Do you feel it in your workload?
Well, like I said, they just want to win. And then obviously I'm like this as well. I'm a winner. I want to win every single game I play, no matter what, even cards with my wife, my friends. I get mad when I don't win. They know it, by the way. So that's the life, you need to live. Otherwise, why you wake up every single day? You need to have like feelings, to win, and then they want to win no matter what. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Arteta, we've seen these stories of his little tricks to kind of keep the players on their toes. The pickpocket in the dinner, the freestyler. There was a time when he was holding that light bulb as well. Do the players react well to this? Do you?
Yes. We enjoy a lot. I would say like 99% of the games we enjoy. Some ones like 1%, sometimes one or another, but it's a little bit like boring or something like that. But most of them is just amazing because just gives some another energy, you know. Like normally we all like football, but sometimes you play another game or 3 games, you know, make you feel like, oh, this is different, and then from nothing you forget about football for a second, and then after you play again, and then there's all the games, they have like similarity a lot with the football, so that's why he does it.
Okay. And when you joke about it with your colleagues afterwards, does Arteta get involved in the jokes? Do you take the mick out of him, or do you mock him for these little tricks?
With the players, you mean?
Yeah, or is Arteta, is he laughing with you when you all react to these things? Or
yes, of course.
Yeah.
He's very active there, you know, like another day in the dressing room as well. It was him against a player, and then was very funny. Everyone was just like smiling, laughing a lot, and then joking around. So yeah, this is good, you know. I think the chemistry when it's like this, you know, easy is better.
which game is he playing with a player?
It's hard to explain, but basically it was like a box of fire,
Okay.
you know, and then and someone was under the table and then doing these tricks, you know.
Like magic tricks?
Yeah. So it was nice. It was nice.
Arteta doing them himself?
Yeah, him against other players.
Okay.
So it was nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Did you think when you joined Arsenal that it could take so long to win a trophy?
No. I remember my first chat with some of the boys was like, amazing, we're playing good after a game. We are playing good in the preseason. I said, we are playing good, blah, blah, blah. We can win the league. And then a few of them was like laughing and say, oh, maybe you signed for a wrong club. I say, why? Like, with this kind of qualities in our team, we can't go there and then win the league. And then when the season starts and then game by game, they was look at me like, wow, we can win. And then unfortunately, was a period that we drop our level a lot. And then obviously City, like always, you know, they keep winning games and then we drop. And then we finished that season, my first season, losing the title. But after that, I think they could see that it's real, you know, like Arsenal can go there and win. Unfortunately, 3 seasons in a row, we finished in second, but obviously from being like fighting a lot and hard to qualify for Champions League to be fighting for the title is something that we need to be happy. Obviously, we want to win, but sometimes it's a process, you know, that you have to respect. But obviously, I think our team now is more like experienced, you know, more mature, that we can go there to finish the season, then win the league and maybe another trophies as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel the pressure? I mean, is something that you speak about in the dressing room?
I think it's not even about the pressure. It's just like some memories come to the mind of the players because we have passed 3 seasons in a row in the same process, and then unfortunately we drop our level in maybe similar ways and then similar times. So maybe it comes to, you know, to our minds like some bad memories, like losing a game, losing the league, you know. So this obviously we speak, and then obviously we change this mentally, and then we go for it, you know, because when you have it and then you fear of losing, but we still don't have it, so we cannot be like scared of lose something that we don't have. So we need to go there and then just game by game try to win the games, and then obviously 4 games to go, everything can happen.
Who are the leaders there? I mean, for example, when the Manchester United defeat at home, who are the players who speak in the dressing room like, we can't, that can't happen again. We have to do something. What's the message from who?
Well, it's hard to say names, like each game is different. For example, there was game that Martin was like, he speak a little bit. That was game like Bukayo, myself, like against United, I think was Davi, myself, we spoke a little bit because it was very quiet, obviously. We just lost a game and then a derby game as well. But I think if I can say one of the most like who that speak a lot and then try to put everyone up is like there's no one single one. I think it's few of them like Declan, myself, Martin, he's the skipper, David, Raya, Merino as well. I think Christian Nogard, he try as well, like not like louder, but he goes to the players and he speak.
How is Martin? Because he has been criticized about captain a bit, especially from the supporters, maybe because of his mentality of he. How do you see him in the dressing room as a leader, as a captain?
So I have not seen some criticisms, so I don't know like what type of criticisms he received, but obviously it's hard to say that because I didn't see. But what I can say is how Martin is. He's a guy that he lead by example. Every day he's training there when he's fit. He's training, he's coming early, but obviously he's a different type of captain, because me, I still young, but I have played with some like serious, like tough captains, and then his type of captain is different, but it's good as well, like no one is the same captain or the same player, the same personality, but like I'm saying, like he's a good guy, very good guy, amazing player, and he lead by example. That's okay. And also, like the team I have played for, there was like some big personalities in the team, and then sometimes not even like captain needs to speak, other players does it. So I think Arsenal now is turning to this, and that's very good.
Mm-hmm. You have mentioned Declan. He said that after the draw against Wolves, there were strong words in the dressing room. What happened there? How was that?
I cannot tell what happened there because it's something intern. But obviously, like I say, I have been teams that players nearly fight in the dressing room, and then wasn't the case in that draw against Wolves. But was like some like talks, like strong talks, like no accusing each other, but was more like, okay, we need to, step on it and then do better. Every single one, do much better than we are doing. And then I think that was a key message that, still a lot of things to play, And then the way is long, and then I think was good, very good.
Was Mikel there as well? Or?
Yeah, everyone, even the board, was there.
Oh, the board. Okay.
So was good, was very good. Like I said, I have been in the teams that was like very, very big characters, and then this happens. This sometimes needs to happen.
Just the words.
Yeah, just the words, yeah.
Does the manager always speak as well, or will he let the players do that between yourselves?
No, at the end, he always speak, because he's our leader, he's the boss, he's the coach that everyone has respect him and then follow his plans. But obviously, like I say, sometimes we need to take step forward and then take ownership and then try to to take responsibility as well, and that's good for the lads that in Arsenal trying to do now.
Could I ask about the set pieces?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Obviously, Arsenal have had massive success this season from corners, especially the win over Chelsea. It looks like you've worked on it a lot. Is that the case? Do you spend a long time doing that each week?
I think we train a lot, obviously. There's no like, oh, I'm good on that without training. No. So we train a lot. Credit for like Nico, because he's the one that he was like fuming. I could see that we wasn't like score set pieces for like 6 games, if I'm not wrong. And he was like, no, we need to score. So let's train extra. So, but still, every single team is scored by set pieces. Obviously, one is scored more than others because train more. Like, for example, at City, we didn't score a lot like Arsenal, but still, we was scoring from set pieces. But we didn't train a lot there. But still, if I'm not wrong, Liverpool, they score a lot set pieces as well. And then just what I feel, just because it's Arsenal, everyone talk, and then obviously it's just because it's the team that is leading the league. Everyone is talking about set piece, and then obviously the fans go and then sing the music, and then everyone get mad. So we concede goals by set pieces as well. So, but set pieces is in the football. Like if you take a look to the World Cup, for example, because for me it's the biggest tournament in football. If I'm not wrong, the percentage of winning World Cup is by set pieces. So it's big. So set pieces will wins you a tournament, or World Cup or Champions League, wins you a game. So it's part of football. So we are taking this point for us, to win in so many different ways. That's help. Sometimes you cannot play good, or sometimes, the defender, because teams, they come to Emirates deep, and then it's hard to get through them. And then once we have set pieces, we have massive guys there that they love to score as well. And then they want to score. That's good for us.
Do you know that he has our colleague, James McNicholas, who is covering Arsenal, has published today that he has a bonus in his contract for reaching a certain amount of goals by set pieces. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
You should ask him to pay a dinner.
Yeah,
to the squad.
Okay. Let's ask him then.
Keep us posted.
I ask him tomorrow.
What's he like, Nico?
He's a very good guy because we work together at City as well. Sure. So yeah, he's a lovely guy, and then I love to joke with him. He loves to joke with me. So yeah, we have a good relationship. Yeah.
And when it's time to work those set pieces, in the past, it was always the fitness coach who say, right, it's a fitness session. The players are, maybe not their favourite.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like with set pieces? Are you a bit like,
not really, because at least you have like the ball, you touch the ball.
Okay.
When it's fitness coach, depend, because today is different, but back in the day at Palmeiras, because at City, straight with the ball, but at Palmeiras, we was like doing like tests and then runs and then without the ball. So fitness coach, they are more like intense than Nico for sure. Nico is more joint. Sometimes, obviously, like I say, we was like 6 games without scoring set pieces. He become like, okay, we need to score. And then you could see like he's more like, more stress, and then he wants to do it. But obviously, he saw something that helped us a lot. And like I say, sometimes a game like against Chelsea, for example, they have a great team, amazing players. They play, they try. It's a tough game. We won. They scored by set pieces as well, and then we won the game by set pieces. That's good. 3 points.
You won everything at Manchester City except the Champions League. Premier League or Champions League?
It's harder to say because like probably the Arsenal fans, they are going to say Premier League because have been like more than 20 years without winning, but also they never won Champions League. So obviously for them it's a dream to win both. For me, I want to win everything, but obviously if I have to choose, obviously it's Champions League, yeah.
How is training against Saliba and Gabriel every day? Very demanding.
It's tough, really tough. For me and for them, for sure. No, Saliba is funny, he keeps saying that. I call him, oh, you a beast. Yeah, like Zinchenko, he called him a Rolls Royce. You are Rolls Royce, blah, blah, blah. And then I say, Willow, you are a beast. You are so good. And he said, you know why I'm good? Because I train against you every day. So I become better. So jokes aside, they understand each other so good, perfect. It's like one of, if not the best central backs in the world, because the way they understand each other is unbelievable. And then also Saliba and Gabi, the way they want to win is something that is very good as well. So yeah, it's hard to train against them, and then I cause some problem for them as well. Yeah.
How is Victor Gyökeres? He has not had an easy start here. How are you seeing him?
Well, he's a good guy also, and then the quality he has to shoot, to score goals, to run the behind is amazing. I keep saying to him sometimes, I say, we are doing like a finishing drill, and I say, oh, Vic, if I have this power to shoot, maybe my game goes to another level. Just joking with each other, and he say, oh, if I have your quality as well. So yeah, he's a good striker, amazing, finishing. Yeah, it's a Premier League. It's the toughest league in the world. It's not easy. And then when you come to team that like Arsenal that have a lot of pressure to win, and then obviously they all look for the striker position because it's the one that needs to score goals and then win the games. But yeah, I think he's doing well, and then I just hope that he keep playing and he keep healthy, and then he keeps scoring. That's good for Arsenal.
Heinze, Argentino. How is him?
Very intense, but that's is unbelievable to have in our team. Someone that push every single player to the limit, because sometimes it's not really like demanding, obviously by the coach here. So him is one of that type of the guy that comes to you and say, oh, you are not doing great, you need to get better, you need to improve, you need to do this, let's work, let's train. So yeah, for us, like forward players, we are lucky that he look more like for the defenders. So that's good.
How is he in the talks? Because I've been told that his English is probably worse than mine.
No, his English is not great, but also he can speak. But he's the type of like guy that he understands a lot football, and he have been in the game. So his career, brilliant career, he's a winner as well. So he understands very well football. So sometimes just with like some like body language, you understand what he wants. And then obviously for me it's easier because I understand Spanish. So yeah, but for the English people that don't understand really Spanish, is a little bit harder, but it's still, like I say, Gabi, he was a top player. He understands football a lot. And then before joining Arsenal, he was the main coach. So he knows what he does. So yeah, everyone at Arsenal are so happy to have him there.
If I say January 12, 2025, Manchester United, what comes to your mind, this injury?
Well, for a second, I don't remember what's happened, but obviously I know that was one of the, in my career, was one of the most toughest day of my life, if we are talking about football, because there was something that I never felt before. And then obviously it was a long-term injury. So yeah, it was quite a lot of emotions, feelings, because was a good moment for me, and then I felt. So yeah, was very tough.
How was the worst moment? The day, the moment that comes to your mind, like, I cried a lot, I thought I was giving up.
I think at the beginning, because obviously at the moment I just I knew it was something, because I normally keep playing, and then all my injuries, it's funny because all my injuries I keep playing and then I don't feel. If I feel, it's because it's something that is normally big. So I play for another 15 minutes with this injury, so after that I was like, okay, maybe it's not something big because I was playing. And then when the doctor says to me it could be ACL, I was like, oh my days, difficult time is coming. And then obviously after the surgery I realized that probably at least 10 months out. And then when they come to me and say it's between 12, 13 months, I was like, nah. I was very scared. I was oh, it's hard because I was just playing good again, and then I gained my form, but yeah, was a time that obviously I thought a lot of things, and then if I did not open my Bible again and then be more connected with God, probably He will not be here, or He'll be back the way I come back, because reconnect with Jesus was the most beautiful thing happens in my life. So it was very, very, very important that I was reading the Bible. I was reconnected with Jesus. So it was amazing. In this part was amazing, but obviously football, I was missing a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In September, it will be 10 years since your debut with Brazil. How do you see yourself in terms of the World Cup? Do you see there?
Well, I'm working for, to be healthy first, obviously, and then have minutes at Arsenal, and then try to help Arsenal. And then by helping Arsenal, I can, have opportunity there, and then show that I still can make it, can help them. But obviously, as a Brazilian, I want to be there in the World Cup to try to help the team. And then, but obviously, there's still a long way to go, and then a lot of to play. So, yeah.
Have you spoken to Carlo?
Yeah, they went to training ground, Soba training ground. And then they play at Emirates. I was in the game. I was in the dress room. He's amazing guy, amazing coach, but unbelievable guy. The way he speak with players, the way he treat the players. So yeah, I spoke a little bit with him. And then I'm so happy Brazil have such a nice guy and unbelievable coach in our national team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he is the right kind of personality for that Brazil team?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because he the way everyone see the way Ancelotti did with Real Madrid, for example. He won so much in his career, and then still like he understands football a lot, and then obviously he understands the players as well. So when they announced him to Brazil, I was happy because he's the type of coach that understands the players a lot. So that's why.
Do you think his relaxed nature will help? Because in Brazil, obviously, it's a huge amount of pressure on that job. 200,000 Brazilians think they can be the coach, and Brazil have had a lot of coaches who have found it hard to. It's been over 20 years since Brazil won the World Cup. Is part of his job to actually just keep things relaxed and protect the players from that pressure?
Well, like I said, he's so experienced, modern age. But I mean, in football, what he have won in his career, what he has, passed through his career, the players that he managed in his career, the amount of Brazilians legend he had. So he understand. He understand. He could be Brazilian easier.
Okay. He's obviously got a lot of attackers who can play in different positions. You have played in different positions at Palmeiras. You were on the left. You've played on the right for Brazil and even at the Copa America. Are you happy to play in all of those positions if it means helping your country, or do you see yourself now, you're at Arsenal, as a number 9 primarily?
Yes, of course. In 2018, I in World Cup, I played like for 5-10 minutes as a left back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm okay with that. As I just want to win. I want to be there, win World Cup. Play, help. But obviously I have my positions. I think I can play. Up front, I can play in 3-4 positions, different positions, and then obviously, like you said, if we take a look in my career, in the games that I have played, I don't know, maybe it's like 16% as a strike and 40% as a winger, both sides, or second forward. So yeah, it's quite like, okay, he's a striker, but I think he play a lot in other positions as well. That's why sometimes people wants to compare like my numbers with a guy that normally plays striker, and then it's a little bit unfair with me. But I still I think my game is different, and then I'm so glad that I can play in more than 2 or 3 positions.
Another player trying to get back in the picture for the World Cup is Neymar. Would you like to see him, regardless of your kind of place in the squad, would you like to see him there? Does he still have a place in this Brazil team, do you think?
Yes. Well, Neymar is without question, is technically he's our best player. That's no one doubt that. I think people sometimes doubt about his fitness, and then few people complain a lot about how he live his life, and then this is not the way I think people needs to see. I think as soon as he get fit and then he's playing, he needs to be there, and then obviously without complaint. I think no even Ancelotti talk about, but obviously in Brazil they wants to speak about a lot Neymar because probably most of them get job because they speak about him. So yeah, without doubting, man, I know what I'm saying. I have training, I have playing with this guy, I have been with this guy outside of football, amazing guy. So I just love when people talking like, oh, Neymar, he don't deserve to be in the World Cup. This is crazy. This is unbelievable. As other countries, imagine you saying like England, Kane cannot be in the World Cup because, let's say, his injury, and then he's having difficult to come back and then be fit, and then they say, no, Kane cannot be there. It's crazy because Neymar is a type of player that in 1 minute, one game, can win you a game easy.
For the people who only see Neymar from the outside, you know, we have been amazed by him on the pitch for many years. But what's interesting is that all the players, all of his teammates are always, you know, you listen to Vinicius, Rodrigo, they idolize him as a person in that changing room. Why is that? Like, what is he like day to day, apart from, you know, the amazing skills on the pitch?
Like I said, he's the one of the most, or if not, because his size, you know, for the world, the most incredible player I have met in my life, because he's so big, and then the way they treat people around him is normal. Should be normal.
Yes, that's
why I'm saying it should be normal. You treat your next the next person good, very good. But unfortunately, we have seen a lot of players or celebrities that they do the opposite, unfortunately. But Neymar is such a big player, big character, but also like such a nice guy, you know. You love to be around him because he's just a kid, you know, like me, for example. Like, once I meet Ze Roberto, for example, at Palmeiras, right? I was like 17, and he was like, if I'm not wrong, 40 already. And then I was like, wow, Ze Roberto. I watched him playing World Cup, and then in Bayern Munich. And then I just like, wow. And then he was just like a kid, you know, joking around, you know, joking along with me, you know. And then I realized that, wow, that this is the type of guy I want to be. And Neymar is like this, you know, like everyone around him can see that he's an amazing guy, you know, he treats people around him amazing. And then a part of what he does for people that need, that no one see, because they close their eyes and then just see like, oh, but he wants to party, he wants to do this and that, you know, but now they don't talking about this anymore, and then they are talking just about like fitness. And then he just come back now, and then he score, and he's playing amazing, you know. And then people start to realize that there's no point to talk about him missing World Cup or no, because what I believe he's going to be there, and then he's going to win the World Cup. That's it.
We always ask all footballers now about Ronaldo, about Messi. But I remember I was at the Maracanã when you played Argentina. Actually, no, it was I think it was at the Mineirão semi-final of the Copa America 2019, a winning tournament for Brazil. And Messi on that day, I think, criticised some of the refereeing. And afterwards, you said, you know, let's hope it's just... there is a question coming, don't worry. Let's hope. You said, you know, you responded to him, but you also said, this guy's the best player in the world. Which, you know, Brazil and Argentina, that's not always an easy thing to say. So do you still think that? Is he the best player who's been seen in your lifetime? And what is it that makes you say that?
What he's achieved in his career, and then obviously the way he played, that's why I said that. But obviously, like, it's just two different things, you know. For me, he's one of the best player in the world, yeah, for sure, ever. And then obviously, if like you come to me asking about players that inspire me the most, I want to say Ronaldo, R9, because not just because he's Brazilian, but everything. Yeah. Even after suffering such a tough injury that he had like 2 or 3. I realized that guy was a beast. That the way he come back after this injury, and then he still like did what he did. Wow, it's just unbelievable, you know. But obviously, like Messi, everyone talk about him. You know, the player he is, and then I mean, like they sit in the same table for me. That's it. But obviously, if you ask me one player that comes to your mind, straight away I say R9.
And do you have a relationship with Ronaldo? Do you know him?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Did he call you because of the knee injury and surgery?
He texts me. Yeah, he texts me. Well, we have some like business together in Brazil, and then obviously like we are closer. We share like a number. By the way, he's my favorite number, contact number I have, cause our night. I'm joking. So yeah, he's a nice guy. Like I said, this kind of like players, such a big players, they are so nice. That's just unbelievable.
Hi everyone, thanks for listening to that. Hope you enjoyed the chat with Arsenal and Brazil star Gabriel Jesus. We'll catch you soon. For more from the Athletic FC podcast, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We've got top journalists like David Ornstein, Matt Slater, Adam Crafton, Carl Anker, and plenty more through the entire season. Make sure you don't miss an episode.